I've had the fortune of playing a lot of safe lane OD against Omni Knight recently and feeling how good that matchup feels.
Man, must be the Red Bulls powering you.
Yeah, the Red Bulls that are just sitting here that I haven't drank yet.
Oh.
They're powering me by proxy.
There we go. Didn't know they could do that. It must
It's
be
crazy, yeah.
The new addition. No, but as you're talking about OD, good in lane against the Omni Knight. Once you get some levels, hit him with the Arcane Orb. Omni can't really do anything, but there is a problem later on in the game when there's a lot of Magic community coming up. We have the Repel and then any potential BKBs. Luckily, Nagasar, not exactly the most common BKB carrier.
Not something you're used to seeing for sure.
Exactly.
I like the OD pick.
I
think Mski can do really well in this hero. It seems like a Mski hero. I like the new build that ODs are going for. I wouldn't call it new, but you forego Astral for the most part because you just want to dominate that lane.
Right, you play off the orbs. You know, I didn't like it at first, but when I think back to their previous problems, they all start in the lane phase, right? This way, you're able to secure yourself a better lane phase unless OG challenged the lane.
Oh. Okay, they were, for a second, they were on the Moon Nature's Prophet, but they switched it up. It is, in fact, the Ice Nature's Prophet. So I was a little concerned there for a second.
Maybe it's for the cosmetic spot.
Yeah,
that's important.
You forget about it. That's the mind game that you need to remember when you get into the draft. But so I do like Mirana with OD, too, because of the Essence Ore, which is always nice to have, getting some extra mana going the way. You know,
Astral's also a setup for the arrow, too.
Exactly. You have Astral, you have Sprout to work with, although Sprout, you probably have a Quelling Blade to get out of that situation if it does happen. But overall, we like the OD pick. The last pick, Omni, is good, but then you have this OD that you have to deal with now. And now you're wondering, okay, who do I favor in this game? And Brax, I'm curious as to your thoughts about both of these teams.
You know, I feel like Mineski have done a better job at tackling their, I mean, it's only been 2 games, but I would say they did have a laning problem in both of those games.
Yeah.
So this game, they've done a bit better job at that, and I like that. It's nice to see them adapt a bit more.
The laning has been the biggest issue for Mineski, for sure.
Come on, as stupid as this sounds, the game begins in the lanes. And I know that's a very obvious statement, but think about it this. We've seen Omni Knights that destroy the lane phase, and they feel extremely impactful. And then sometimes you watch an Omni Knight lane up against a Viper. Viper doubles him in levels all the way up to level 8.
Yep.
And he has absolutely no impact, right?
So now OG need to figure out, okay, do we want to send this Omni against the OD? Are we going to play some musical lanes? How are we going to deal with this early laning phase situation that Mineski might have an advantage in? I mean, what do you do if you're OG in this situation?
Well, you definitely need to find the most appropriate lane setup.
Well, they'll try doing that. They will get some wards down. S4 is bottom, so at this point, oh, look, these wards are actually insane. They're literally both on top of each other in both lanes, in the top lane and the bottom lane. That's actually pretty incredible.
It's funny. I can OG counter that one.
Yeah, we'll see. JRX is coming up. He's looking for Nana, but Moon is able to back himself up. They have the Spirit coming in. No Stomp, so no real threat of dying at this point. They could try to find a fight. We'll see what Moon wants to skill up as his first ability. But S4 is nearby. Resolution is as well. And Resolution will be playing the DK this time around, which is interesting, I would say.
Resolution, the inventor of the safe lane Dragon Knight.
Riptide comes out from No Tail onto Jabs. They're trying to secure the bounty runes for themselves, and it will be Ice getting the top one.
This is dangerous.
Battery Assault comes in, and No Tail is in a lot of trouble. He only has Riptide. He is very fast. They're going to try to at least block with Fly, but actually he just body blocks No Tail to death.
Well, it's a single tree block.
The tree block has been insane for Ice, and he's getting some extra damage, and he gets the deny onto the Treant as well. Ice, he's known for making flashy plays, but my God.
Wow, happy Halloween. That thing's spooky.
It is a very spooky Treant. Nature's Prophet, and he's already getting the dance on as well. So
that's the best taunt in the game, by the way.
You think so?
Yes.
I like the Undying one. I think that's my personal favorite. But they did send Mski mid. I thought they were going to play it in the safe lane. They will instead send Moon down to the bottom lane against this Omni Knight. This isn't that bad though for Moon. I mean, he'll still be able to zone out S4 rather heavily.
All right, it's a lane that can't actually kill him, right? And OD, while we were talking about good against the Omni Knight, 1v1 with another hero in the mix, not so great. So they throw him in the mid lane. You know, DK is actually totally fine in this lane up until like later levels. But even when that happens, it doesn't really matter because DK has a stun. If OD comes in the right click, he could get stunned and die.
And this is the mid lane OD, so he has to use. He goes for the Astral instead of the Max Arcane or Max Essence Aura type build that we've seen in some of the safe lane ODs. But that's just to make sure Resolution can't get as much CS. Mski can kind of clear the waves a bit better later on down the road. And we'll keep our eyes on that mid lane, but the DK should do fine, and so should Mski.
Yep.
Top lane is where most of the action is probably going to happen at the start of this game with a Clockwork and a Nature's Prophet. It's a lot of damage to be dealt, and No-Tail will need to be a little careful. As actually Jabs is running in, they've got the battery assault. Riptide trying to go, but he's got the cogs now, and if Ice can get a couple of auto attacks off, No-Tail might be in trouble. The cast will come through, it's going to bounce to the Trance. The Trance trying to block as best as they can, but No-Tail is able to get back to the Tier 1 tower. Fly will get assaulted a little bit with the battery assault, but Jabs will be able to back himself away. But it is a lot of damage being dealt already against this Naga Siren, and No-Tail is forced to salve.
When we look at the lanes, right, both teams off lanes, while there is a lot of harass coming out from OG's off lane in the dual lane, there's not really any kill threat. And then when you look at Mineski's, they have a ton of kill potential with the Clockwork.
And it's frightening in that regard.
Yes, it is.
And so the support down bottom for JerAx is more so just kind of making sure S4 can get a good start on the Omni Knight.
Exactly.
And so far, it's not bad. He's level 2. He's keeping pace with Moon and Nana, which he should be. But now JerAx has an Invis rune, and he's running on Mski, who is very low in the mid lane. I mean, this is potentially... Maybe they could find a kill with Dragon Tail, but they don't have it yet. They don't have enough mana for another Breathe Fire either, so they need to wait about 10 seconds to have that.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with this, to be honest.
The timing was just not right.
So not the end of the world for OG. They will be able to back up. It's so far, Brax, a fairly even game. Nobody's really getting ahead in CS. In fact, S4 in the bottom lane is actually the one that's getting the big advantage for OG. That he's doing really well against Moon on this Mirana.
This is the big lane where there isn't actually some sort of advantage, but at least Mirana won't die. She'll eventually get her levels, and she gets, you know, what she needs. Not that big of a deal. It's not like that somebody can rotate down there and they can easily get kills.
Fly has Voodoo Restoration at level 1. Makes sense against this lane when Jabs is putting up constant pressure. He only did a little bit of damage with the battery assault and the cogs coming in, and now he will back himself away, but they are getting a good start for Ice. So both offlaners having a relatively good time, I would say, Brax.
Oh yeah, having fantastic times. Feels like it's just all about what the supports can manage to get accomplished in the early game.
And that's going to be what they're going to try to do here in the mid lane with JerAx. Breathe Fire, the Stomp will hit. They don't have Dragon Tail still. They should have enough damage to get him low. I'm not sure they'll be able to get the kill. It's going to be close. He has no Astral. They'll try to chase him down. He has only one Tango. He can use it.
He's got another nuke on the DK.
Yeah, I think he gets out. Resolution's a little too slow to go for it. Astral was about to go for JerAx, but he realized it would just be a waste of mana, although pushes Mski back for the time being, but he's going to salve up instead.
Just some harass, no big deal. Oh,
the battery assault. JerAx gets the Arcane Rune. The cog push is not what he wanted. He wanted the cogs to come out, more battery assault damage to come in. Jabs is on level 2. And this is another thing. You don't have those Bounty Rune experience going your way for this Clockwork.
Yeah, it's a big deal. If that was a level 3 Clockwork, he could have potentially just ran him down with the damage.
Yeah. Not happening, though.
It is such a big deal, isn't it? When these supports are level 2, around 5 minutes into the game. Normally they'd be level 3 with the 8 of the Bounty Runes.
I mean, Fly's been sitting in lane leeching experience, but he's one level ahead of the Jabs Clockwork now.
Yep, the 4 positions get so underleveled when they just dedicate purely to roaming.
And I guess that's the big thing now, is just that the lane supports are getting more experience through pulling, through just leeching. Cass will come out of the top lane onto the Nature's Prophet, but he's pretty far away already. They weren't able to get there in time with a Riptide. That might have been a kill had they been there.
Well, that second bounce was really far, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a long-range bounce, let me tell you. But Jabs will back himself up to the tower. He will get to safety. They will have a big wave coming in. This should be a lot of experience that he can finally get. In the meantime, Ice is doing the smart thing. He's level 5. He'll head to the jungle. He'll give solo experience for his Clockwork, so he can try to get up to the 6 as quickly as possible.
It's like the pseudo offlaner, right? Used to be an offlaner. Now he's a roaming support. He can kind of transition into that role once Furion frees up some space and takes the jungle. It's interesting.
They're going to try for Mski again in the mid lane. The Stomp will come. They have level 2 Breathe Fire, and now they've got a Dragon Tail to work with as well. The Dragon Tail will come first. The Glimpse comes back out. They have the Breathe Fire. They get it off,
the
but
raindrops.
He actually is fine. The raindrops coming in. JerAx will fall for this. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. They still get the kill onto Mski before JerAx does go down, but that could have been better for OG. And meanwhile, they'll take down S4 as well. So they have Ice rotating in with Moon. Just got the Starstorm damage at level 3, and Ice Ice's base damage is pretty high. Now they're going to find more as Fly getting caught in the top lane. The battery is still coming in with the cogs, but they have the sleep, and now Jabs is getting turned on. The Riptide, the cask will come through, but it won't bounce. There's nothing there to bounce to. Jabs still on the run, trying to get to the bounty room, but that will be taken by No-Tail instead. He is pretty speedy. He's got the boots, and he gets a cog pushback as well, which actually keeps him alive. The Astral, the Stomp, it's going to be close, and it does just hit as he was right next to the bounty. Ice is not there in time. OG getting a nice big kill onto that Clockwork.
Yep, nicely done. Huh. So what's going to happen in this game, Lots?
Well, Jerax might die is what might happen as Mushi is level 6. He's got Sanities. He might want to drop it here. He's thinking about it. Yep, there it is. It's a free kill for Mushi onto Jerax as he walks right through, and the support set it up for Mineski and Jabs in there with the cogs to help out.
Yeah, and that also lined up with the DK's ultimate too. So he has no mana, no HP. They're going to go back and Shrine. That's more time wasted on the ultimate.
He wanted to get more damage under this tier 1 tower and maybe a kill along with it. And instead, they're the ones that lose a hero for OG.
When you look at the lineup from OG, who's going to make the moves? Who's going to create space? It's Dragon Knight, right? And this is just downtime on the ultimate.
Yeah. So the first ultimate maybe not doing the most for OG. They still have good farm and resolution. They have good fighting position. Meanwhile, No-Tail on the top lane. They've got the cogs. They've got the Nature's Wrath. And now Fly cog push back. The battery's still going, but they won't be able to dive the tower. And Fly is able to get to safety. 5 kills for Mineski. They have a slight advantage. The top net worth hero is Ice, but it's still a very close game, Brex.
Yes, it is. And these next, well, I guess DK ultimate's up in 50 seconds, but still, it feels pretty bad when your only playmaking ability is on cooldown. While on the side of Mineski, they have a whole bunch of different abilities to start ganks. You have Disruptors, Glimpse. OD can also set up engagements with the Astral. Mirana, tons of magic damage, easy to gank for. And then you have this Clockwork just running around, getting on top of Nagasar.
Maybe when they can get some more levels in their supports for OG, they can find more, but it's a lot easier for Mineski, like you talked about. The Clockwork, he'll have Hookshot inevitably. You have Glimpse from the Disruptor now up to level 2, and a Haste Rune to boot, which will be nice. Maybe S4 at some point roams around, starts getting involved in fights, maybe TPs if there's a dive that happens somewhere. But so far, he's just stayed bottom, whereas Ice has gotten involved. And speaking of him getting involved, he was looking for the bounty, and now he's being run down by No-Tail. But it looks like they don't want to go for the kill. They can't even. Yep,
no net, no disable. You know, a lot of the times when we see Omni, we see him paired up with the Sand King. Right, the Blink Stun.
S4 bottom lane, able to TP out in time. Meanwhile, Dragon's Tail in the mid lane. They've got the Stomp coming through, and now Mushi will survive as the TP comes in from Jabs, but he's pretty low in resolution. He's got Breathe Fire. He doesn't have the mana for it. The stick charges. They've got the battery cell, the Mallet coming in, and they might be able to get this kill for Jabs. Resolution is fine. The Voodoo Restoration is there for Fly. What a nice skill up. That level 1 Voodoo Restoration from Witch Doctor, keeping him up and tanking, and of course, making sure he tanks the battery assault from the Jabs Clockwork.
It looks so good, but there's no Sanity's Eclipse from the Outworld Devourer. They needed just a tiny bit more damage to get those kills.
It was on cooldown for another 20 seconds when the fight happened. Now it'll be up in about 6. He'll buy more raindrops from Mushi, but that is a nice pickup going for OG to make sure they keep their heroes alive. And now Resolution is the top net worth hero. He's working on Armlet, trying to get more tanky. And when you have a OG S4 Omni Knight, it's going to be even harder to bring down this DK once he gets some items and some levels on that Omni.
Yep, once they start to group up and just run down lanes together, they're extremely strong.
But that hasn't happened yet.
Well, Jerax.
They're looking for Jerax. They've got the kinetic field. The arrow will hit along with it, and Jerax will fall. He tries to get off the stomp, but too little too late. He even canceled it before dying. So Moon getting some good farm, and Ice. We expect him to have a big impact in these games, and he is the second net worth hero in the game. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to try to find Jabs. The cogs will come out, but they will secure themselves the bounty room.
Those things look hilarious. Sprinklers.
They do look like sprinklers. Some of the cogs are a little bit interesting in terms of cosmetics. But yeah, Ice is having a fantastic time. And not to say that S4 isn't. He's not too far behind him, but Ice is really farming. And they will find maybe Moon. Nah, he's going to be okay. They had the stomp, but anyways, yeah, Ice is having a great game, Brex.
Yep, it's a different kind of fantastic, right? S4 is having a good lane phase. Ice is rotating around the map, finding kills, making plays happen.
Yeah. We haven't talked about No-Tail, though. He has picked up Treads. He has Song of the Siren. He's going to use it onto Jabs.
S4's TPing in.
They want to make something happen here. They have the Omni Knight. He is level 8. They've got the Glimpse coming out, but S4 repels himself in time. Nice play there. Not sure they can really get jabs, though. They wanted to run at him. They've got the Purification. They have the level 2 Degen Aura, but Jabs just salves up, and he's fine. But this will give more space in the mid lane for OG as Resolution has popped the Elder Dragon form yet again.
Yeah, with S4 TPing top lane, now Mineski are just going to hit the bottom tower, especially with the Siege Wagon. It does not stand a chance to survive at all.
So it looks like we might have a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade, although the hook shot's going to come in. They have found the Deacon. The Cogs are there, and now Fly also in trouble. They've got the Static Storm. It's on the 2. Great fight from Mineski. The Sand Eclipse drops, and that's 2 dead. And they keep their tier 1 tower alive in deny range. What a fight for Mineski, and they will try to transition this into another tier 1 tower.
You know, a lot of the times with Naga, we see the greedier builds coming out, right? The straight Radiance Rush. This game, No-Tail has the Aquila, who went for the bottle as well, treads. A lot of small items so that he's stronger in the early game so he doesn't die, but because of that, that's what they need to fall back on, right? They need that Radiance because nothing's working out for them right now. They tried to make a Song of the Siren play up top, didn't happen. Now it's on cooldown for a really long time. Dragon Knight plays solely around his ultimate. When it's not up, he is just a big melee creep.
Oh, they're going to get the Sinai off? Yes, the Treants from Nature's Prophet. Now they might even find a kill on No-Tail. Again, you mentioned the song is on cooldown, but they actually missed the Cogs. No-Tail's able to get through. He is very speedy.
Oh,
they have the arrow coming in from Moon. That was the perfect timing, and now a dominating spree on Ice, Ice, Ice. Oh, they almost got that tower, but they get both of them denied in both the mid and the top lane. Earth Splitter down to the bottom lane. That'll be on Debushi. This could be a big kill if they can find it, and he has the Astral, but the TP, I don't think it'll be in time as the Purification comes in from S4. Finally, they get something going for OG after they lose their safe lane carry.
Yep, it's go time. Big OG pickoff.
But now can they transition? Elder Dragon form is up in 1 second, so they can try to pressure the bottom tower. They have S4, who is level 9. So they can continue on and try to get some more damage done, get some of these buildings. Meanwhile, Moon, he will trade for the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Treads Aghanim Scepter. Again, that build that he went for recently, he's going to go for it again. So it looks like a tier 1 for a tier 1, at least for now.
Looking for Jerax.
Arrow misses, but they have the Glimpse Static Storm, and Jerax looks to be dead as well. 10 kills for Mineski. They're all over the map. They're finding fights. But again, this tier 1 tower down to the bottom lane will probably fall.
Well, we were bagging on Disruptor a little bit with his incredibly low win rate, but look at what happens when you're dominating the early game. Everywhere you go, you can find these key pickoffs. This hero has some of the best catch in the game. It's just a matter of being able to position yourself to find it.
Glimpses have been on point. He's had 2 successful static storms, I believe, maybe even 3. OG will smoke up. They're going to look for top. They will find the Ensnare on the Nature's Prophet. The Sprout comes in. It's onto an illusion, not onto No-Tail. They're still there. Hook shot comes in on the side, and they've got the arrow, but the repel comes in, and now Fly should be fine. ISS is still getting chased down. They've got the Death Ward. They will actually get the kill onto the Nature's Prophet, and Jabs will fall. OG finding 2 more kills across the map. They rotate pretty much everybody to the top lane. If they could find Moon, it would be even better, but it's so difficult. He's got the Moonlight Shadow, he's got the Point Booster, and he has Leap available as well. But Naga getting a fair bit of gold out of that fight.
He's kind of baiting this. Ninja Boogie TP'd in. If he keeps chasing, then they can perhaps set up a kill. They actually see him on the Observer Ward, but yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah, so that is a Yasha done for the Naga Siren. So instead of going for that straight Radiance, he wants to be involved early and often. He might go for the Radiance now, or he could build into the full Manta style. We'll see which he decides for.
Maybe this is a flashback to the past. The no Radiance Naga.
Ice, Ice, Ice. Almost getting the Yasha, almost getting the Courier. But the shield came out quickly for OG. They were ready for it, and you have to be when you're against the Nature's Prophet.
Yep, but now OG have an idea that there's some sort of ward on their side of the map that revealed where that Courier flew. But yeah, look at that. Fly trying to D-ward, but doesn't find it.
Yeah, this ward that they've placed towards this medium camp near the shrine is really good. Kind of common, but it hasn't been D-warded yet. They've got the Glimpse, they've got the Naga. They missed the hook shot, though. This Static Storm, I'm not sure it's going to be enough damage. They have the Battery Assault and the Cogs. The arrow does hit yet again. Moon on point with these Sacred Arrows. And that will get him even more gold towards his Aghanim Scepter. So No-Tail, he just found a couple of kills, but he does go down, and now down for 25 seconds.
Alrighty, big kill. And of course, that's going to lead to a tower push up top from Mineski. You know, OG, their lineup operates in a way where they probably don't want to defend towers, right? They want to be the ones that trade towers so they can open up the map and continue farming. If they happen to lose that engagement, which they very well could, especially with OD being so farmed currently. You know, he's not at the top of the net worth charts, but he's hit that point where he's powerful.
Yeah.
Right? He needs those early levels, otherwise he doesn't really do much. Then he gets that survivability item in the Force Staff, and it becomes really strong in fights.
Yeah, this is the moment. Force Staff, level 3 Arcane Orb. He's got the sanities to work with.
Yep.
Plus, also, the talents on OD are pretty insane. 250 health at the level 10 talent, the 40 movement speed at level 15, and then level 20 strength, which keeps you incredibly tanky and difficult to kill.
Moonlight Shadow.
They're going to set something up here. I'm not sure that OG actually spotted this Moonlight. They're all moving together, though, down to bottom, and at the very least staying grouped up. Whereas Mineski are looking for somebody in the top lane, which doesn't seem to be happening.
Yeah, both teams pretty much making the same exact play.
Ice, this could be a big kill, but he already has his Orchid, and he's sitting behind the tier 2. I think OG just want to push this tier 2 tower bottom. This will free up more room for Mineski if they don't want to fight. They will glyph for now. They can TP in everybody if they choose to. They all have TP scrolls at the ready. They still have Song up for no tail, so if they want to set something up, they can, like an Earth Splitter.
OG's just trying to make sure that they can find some sort of trade.
Resolution's diving the tower. He's got the Dragon Tail going, and a lot of damage being done to Ice. He has stick charges. The Breathe Fire comes out, and the stick actually saves his life. The Astral coming in, but Moon should be fine. One way or the other, he can bait out the Stomp and can leap away from it. But now I'm not sure they can defend this. Resolution and OG, they really want this tier 2 tower, and they're going to find it. It looks like the Breathe Fire, the last auto attack, and the Siege Creep gets the job done, and now Resolution will back up with the rest of OG. They'll try to glimpse it, but S4 baited it out with the Repel. Now they Song, the Air Splitter coming in. This will be on to 2, but they leap away in time, so it's only Ninja Boogie. He even gets off the Static Storm, but still, the Ensnare comes out. It's too little too late. The hook shot, it's on to 2. Mineski, can they turn this around? They get off the Dragon Tail. That'll be on to Bushi. He's getting low. He's got the Sand Beast. Meanwhile, Moon doing so much damage with the Starstorm. They're about to find both supports. They will fall. Resolution might be next as well. The Armlet's still going. The Sandys, he gets away in time. The Urn's still taking him down. It's going to be close. The Toggle, is it there? It is not. He will get dropped down. And S4 trying to TP, but he will not be successful. Mineski, it looks so bad at the beginning of the engagement, but they are able to turn it around. And Moon's damage output in that engagement, I think, is the reason why.
Jabs is rich off that fight. Gets a triple kill on the Clockwork.
That 2-man hook shot, the cogs, the insane setup for Moon to come back in with the Starstorm.
The fight looks so good in the beginning for OG, right? They got the Song out, they bait out the Glimpse, here's the Repel. They get the 2-man combo off, but of course Mirana can leap out of that.
He's spamming leap, you know it.
Exactly, and then you have TPs coming in from different angles, and you've already avoided the combo. There's the hook. All these heroes are toast.
And they even get Mushi with a nice Dragon Tail, but they just don't have the damage. They got the Orchid off from Ice. That was the game changer.
Yep.
S4 couldn't use his abilities. The GA came in too late. Oh, we talked the Orchid coming out, but it came out at the perfect time as Ice was able to TP back into the fight. So
that it did. It's just so awkward when you're playing this this combo lineup, and then all these heroes start coming in after the combo's already been used from different angles, and then you just are unable to lock them down. Like we saw the Dragon Tail stun come out onto Mushi, but just 4 staffs away, resets, and no big deal at all.
You know what it feels like, too, is that OG just need a little bit more damage. They're just not there yet. No Tail's not doing enough. He is working on the Manta, but they just don't have the damage to bring down some of these tankier heroes. Even the OD.
My goodness, look at this Clockwork build. Necro.
What a baller. Jabs is having a heck of a game.
Yep. When you just casually spam the Necro off cooldown, you farm so much.
This could be big. They found Mushi. The Dragon Tail comes in the Breathe Fire. They need the damage. They've got the cast bouncing in, but he's actually forced himself away. The Death Ward is there. He's trying to fog it. He will. He has the Maledict down him. He's got Blink back up into, but again, the Maledict's still ticking. He should tick down to this and die. The Nature's Wrath coming in. The last tick comes in, and Mushi will fall. He couldn't Astral himself in time, but OG, a great fight. Meanwhile, they've got the Song coming out. They want to try to turn this. They have lost JRX in the mid lane. Can they get anything more for OG? They cannot. Mineski will back themselves away. But that is a big kill, bringing Mushi down. An ice pickup for OG in that bottom lane.
Very nice indeed. They need more. Right, No Tail almost has his Manta style, some more physical damage coming out, but even after the Manta, I feel like he still needs more. Right, and this is their true one-position carry.
It's not enough damage yet. He's getting there, especially once he gets to the 15 agility talent at level 15. That will help. If he wants to go for it, he might want to go for tankiness instead.
Well, do you think if that 14 strength was 15, people would take that one instead? Is that one the difference maker?
The one is the difference maker, perhaps. How can you argue? It's just basic math.
Yeah, one's better than the other.
Exactly.
I see bigger number.
But S4, he's the real hero you need to look out for OG. If he doesn't get Orchided, or if he has a Yule Scepter to be able to deal with that Orchid Malevolence and get off his abilities, that's when things get a lot better for OG in these fights.
It's funny how we have this matchup that gets presented because Ice is looking to Orchid S4 in every team fight, and S4 has the 4 staff to help him position and get out of the Sprout.
Exactly. It's going to be big. S4 just needs more room to farm. He needs to get that Yule Scepter or something to deal with the silence. Yule's is probably the best item in that regard.
Either some way to ult, they get
shot.
him.
They have found No Tail. The arrow's coming through. It will miss, but they have the Static Storm. He's able to get away with the Force, but it's not going to be enough.
Big catch.
And that is No Tail down again for 45. And with this kill, Mineski will try to push into the base, potentially the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. And OG will back themselves up to mid as well.
Clockwork, not a trash hero confirmed. Well, all right, I'll say this. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually, right?
Well, I think Jabs is making the hero look very good. Whether the hero is good or not, I'm not sure, but Jabs is definitely making the hero look good. Orchid, that'll be onto the DK. He's in trouble, but again, really tanky. They have the Repel to come in from S4, plus the Purification is ready. They're going to go with the Blink Dragon Tail. Ice would be a big kill. They should have detection. Even if they don't, they will still find it. They didn't even really need it. The dust came out at the end, but that is Ice down for 50 seconds, but they will have to head back home and deal with Moon's push in that bottom lane. OG looking to Shrine as they have the rest of Mineski chasing after them with the Moonlight Shadow, but I don't know how far Mineski want to go and try to fight this. Mushi is on the high ground. They're looking for a target, but OG moving together, not trying to get caught. And I'm not sure Mineski want to set something up. They have no Ice for 30, and the ward is spotting them out. OG are ready to fight this. They have the Blink Dagger. There's the Dragon Tail. They've got the Breathe Fire. The Cat's coming in as well. And Ninja Boogie about to fall. Meanwhile, No Tail has found Jabs. And in fact, actually, Jabs is the one in trouble this time around. The Ensnare, the Death Ward. It's going to be 2 kills, 3 total when you include it onto Ice. A big turnaround fight for OG, getting some more room for No Tail.
Very nice. These wards from both teams. Like, Mineski was looking for the potential pickoff since Moon forced a rotation down to the bottom lane, but just happened to be that OG had the ward that actually saw them.
That one little ward, and Radiant also have a ward drop down that they just put there, actually.
Yep, they just placed it when they got jumped.
They might actually, they get resolution in the top lane, though, as they have the Nature's Wrath and the arrow coming in from the Mirana. With the Starstorm now at the Aghanim Scepter level, and being level 16, Mirana's doing a lot of work in these fights.
Yeah, she's also super close to BKB. And it gets even harder for OG to lock this hero down.
Yeah. Still, all in the meanwhile, more room for S4 to get his Yule Scepter. But Mineski will try for Roche instead. At least they send in Ice. I'm sure they'll have the rest of the heroes coming in shortly.
They don't have the most Roche damage, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a slow and steady process.
They definitely don't. I don't think they have a Medallion. They have Necro on Jabs if they want to use that. He's walking in now. It's level 2 Necro, by the way. And this will make things a bit quicker. And I don't think OG know this is happening. If they do, they're not really in position to contest it. They're TPing into the tier 2 mid. It might be too late. In fact, Roche is falling so quickly, they're not going to be able to get there in time with the Song of Desire.
There's no way for them to approach this safely. They have no vision in the area. Clockwork zoning.
They might want to back up for OG, and they'll do just that. The Flare will come in. Jabs is looking for an angle potentially, but OG have gotten themselves to safety. But that is Aegis going for Mineski. They put it on Moon, as you would expect.
All right, so let's talk about some item timings. We have the BKB picked up on Moon's Mirana. Mushi working towards his own BKB, but it's still pretty far. Resolution, 1 item away from his BKB. BKB is the big item for both teams.
Yeah.
All right, one lineup has a Naga Siren sleep setup combo. You want to be able to BKB to avoid the follow-up, or just the song in general. And then on Mineski's side, the BKB, sorry, on OG's side, the BKB helps you avoid all the magic damage, right? OD does nothing to BKBs. And same thing with this Mirana build, right? It's all magic damage.
There's a severe lacking of physical damage on both teams.
Yes.
Like, it's just Naga on one team, maybe the DK a little bit, and then Nature's Prophet and kind of Mirana, even though she has an Aghanim Scepter.
Yep, exactly.
So
they're not built for physical damage, really.
I guess it is going to be the BKB battle that's going to change things here. Resolution's about to get his. He has the recipe in his stash. Of course, we talked Moon getting his just now, not too, it was about a moment ago or so, and then Mushi is building into his as we speak, so.
Yep. Resolution super close, right? Here's the Moonlight Shadow. Clearing their own jungle.
I don't think they was spotted. There's no wards there, but it seems OG kind of knows something. They're going to move together. Resolution, he moved over. I think he saw Ninja Boogie with the Sentry and the ward.
They know.
And now they're going to try to fight. They've got the Dragon Tail coming in. They can burst down this support disruptor, and they will find it. That is Elder Dragon form used. I think they thought the fight was going to be a bit more than just the disruptor.
Right. They knew it was a smoke, so they have no idea who else is there. Or not a smoke, sorry, Moonlight Shadow.
Right.
So they assume that they're moving together. But not the case. Still, good pickoff. And they managed to kill Ninja Boogie's wards, too. He happened to place it up on the cliff, sentryed it. So nothing accomplished for Mineski at all, except some farm time for OD.
There's something that we haven't really talked about that much, and it's Mineski's split push capabilities.
Yes.
And you need to talk about it whenever there's a Nature's Prophet in the game. And he is a Shadow Blade now, which makes it even easier for him to get in and out of these lanes and try to keep the waves pushed as much as possible.
Well, Mod also jabbed. We took our eyes off him for a couple minutes. Now he has a Necro 3.
Yep.
He's been spamming it off cooldown just to push out lanes and farm the jungle. It's a really nice way to make sure that you scale into the game instead of hit that wall and fall off.
Well, there is a 5K lead. It doesn't feel like it's 5K, but there is in fact a 5K lead for Mineski. They have the Aegis, they had Roshan taken, they've had a couple of good fights here and there. It's been a back and forth game, it's 18-12, so the kill score is not that big of a discrepancy between the two teams. But Mineski, they want to, I would assume, get something done with this Aegis.
Yeah, there's a bit of a minor problem in Mineski's lineup where they're not great at hitting towers, right? Their building damage is not high, OD not great, Mirana also not very great with the Aghanim Scepter build. Furion's pretty good.
But that's why they have the Necro book, though.
Well, yeah, that definitely helps, but because I feel like when you don't have that early, it's harder to press your advantage because you can hide around these towers. It takes them a long time to take towers, so you're able to get a lot while they take your own towers. You can continue to farm and split push. If you have this heavy building damage, then the enemy's forced to respond to you more often than just try to trade.
Moon in a very good position
Breaks
to
the
bait out
smoke.
the smoke. That is real nice for Mineski. Now Moonlight Shadow, they could re-engage.
Yep, they know there's a sentry there because they had an Observer Ward and it got countered. So they probably won't step too far in.
OG are kind of grouped together. Jabs is looking for an assault, but of course they have the sentry there. It's not going to matter. They get the hook shot off in time. Static Storm, it's onto two, but only one is caught in the kinetic field. Good glimpse back, but they repel Jirax, and so that means that S4 is not going to be there for the engagement. And Moon has a double damage and is laying into the Witch Doctor. And now Resolution, they've got the Astral. Moon pops the BKB. The Starstorm is available soon. The Earth Splitter coming in. They've got the Orc. That's on Jirax. Another lead comes through. They want Resolution. This would be a big kill if they could find it. S4 trying to save his life. The arrow coming in, but Resolution's BKB is still going, and the saw comes in, but Jirax will fall, and now No Tail needs to leave. He's got to TP to safety, and he will. Mineski finds two. They use their BKBs to great effect, but it's just the supports for OG, and they both have buybacks, so now you need to be careful if you're Mineski and OG. They can get set up for another fight. They still have GA to work with if they want, but they don't have the Elder Dragon form.
No Dragon form, no sleep. Okay, he's got a little bit of Dragon form left.
The Dragon Tail coming in. They have the Astral save in the meantime, though. They will glimpse Resolution back. The Arcane Orb's doing some damage. They're still working on the Tier 3 tower, and it looks like they will find it. And they'll need to back away after, one would assume. Mineski can try to get out safely, and they will do just that. Great initiation. Good start to the fight with Jabs being there, and the Tier 3 gets dropped down at the end of it, Brax.
Yep, without that sleep, you're not going to be able to take the fight comfortably, and you're fighting into an Aegis, of course. Oh, God. This game is, it's so weird, honestly. Like, the way the fights play out, it's always this messy, chaotic fight where Mineski looked for an engagement with the Moonlight Shadow. OG were attempting to make a play of their own with the smoke gank, but it happened to get scouted. And then Mirana comes in from some awkward angle with an arrow that they weren't expecting. Just runs over the fight.
Moon has done a fantastic job this game.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Moon's playing Priestess of the Moon?
I would say no.
And his previous name was Nana. He changed it for a reason, Mod.
Yeah. He must really like playing bottom.
This is his hero.
Yeah, it must be. He's played it a lot. It's a hero that he seems to feel comfortable on, despite every other player not really thinking this hero is actually a thing.
Yep, also first picked.
Yeah, that's actually even more impressive. I mean, who's picked Mirana this tournament besides him, if anybody? I don't think anybody has.
Yeah.
So the fact that they first pick it, they feel very comfortable on the hero for Moon. And I think for good reason. He's got the BKBs now. He is doing a lot of magic damage, so once OG can get some more BKBs up for their team, things get a little bit easier once they have S-Force Propel there. He does have the Eul Scepter now, so he's able to avoid the Orchid Malevolence.
Yep, smoke up from OG. You know, OG can still win fights if they can find the jump,
yes.
right? With Resolution's Blink Dagger and BKB, if he can find a key target like the OD and they can just lock him down with the Earth Splitter on top, he will die. And they can potentially take a fight that way. But it's always been Mineski finding the openings in the fights. The fights have always been so chaotic, and that favors the team without the combo aspect, right? You can come in from different angles, don't have to group up.
They find the Destructor yet again. That is not the hero OG want. Can they find more? Everybody running away. It looks like Moon is out of there on the Mirana. He's already used one of his leaps, I believe. He's just heading up to the north, heading up to that top lane. But it's a kill and a kill nonetheless, and that means they can push into the mid lane. They can give some more space for No-Tail, who is now about to pick up his butterfly. He's actually going to have it now as soon as he gets to the secret shop. That's the damage that they're going to be looking for, Brax. I know it's still maybe not that much, but it's going to be something for OG to rely on with physical damage.
Yeah, it gives them some nice survivability against the OD as well. You can dodge these arcane orb hits.
Ice has the scythe too for Mineski. It's an 8K lead, so it feels pretty difficult for OG. The good news for them is they haven't lost the racks yet, and they are pushing the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. The glyph will come in. Disruptor is back in 5 seconds. S4 takes a Nature's Wrath that does some serious damage, but they have the Buddha Restoration and Purification. Resolution has the Elder Dragon form. It is the level 3 Elder Dragon form now that he is 18. They have jabs nearby if they want to go for the hookshot. Instead, Mski jumps in with the Astral. That will set something up. The Illusion's trying to block any hookshot attempt.
They get the real one.
They got the kinetic field coming in. They hit No-Tail. He's in trouble. The GA comes out the Static Storm, but he looks to fall. No-Tail solo, trying to get dropped down. He gets the Song of the Siren off in time. He's still in trouble, though, as they pop the BKB. The Mirana chasing him down, but the sleep is there, and he actually might survive. He's used the flutter. He's so fast. Can they get him? He's going to go for the TP, but Mski might check this. The kinetic field, and he gets away in time.
He misses.
He actually gets away in time, and they got Ice on the back of this for OG. But they did lose the range racks in the top lane. That is significant. Still, though, keeping No-Tail alive there in a pretty disastrous situation. Well done from OG, I would say, Brax.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
No-Tail almost died before he got the song off. Mski was casting the ultimate, but his BKB ran off right before it went off, so they weren't able to kill the Naga right away. If they burst that Naga Star and chase down the other heroes on OG, maybe Ice gets even more.
Yeah. Full set of racks. Maybe the tier 2 was up in the mid lane, so you wouldn't be able to get too much more off of that.
Yeah. There is the big split push problem, right? When you're playing against the Furion, you lose one side of racks and it's a whole different game.
And this is where maybe Radiance would have come into play for No-Tail had he gone it. Split push a little bit easier with the Radiance illusions.
Yeah, it would definitely help with getting these lanes up, but they need physical damage.
Yeah, they do. And I think that's a good choice for No-Tail that he has the butterfly, that he's gone this route. Earth Splitter coming in, they've got the Astral saved to come in this stomp, but now Disruptor in trouble. He'll get purified down by S4 and Mski. He's popped his own BKB, but Resolution is repelled up, and I'm not really sure they can get anything done with this, so OG bait out the BKB charge of the Outworld Devourer. That was the, I think, 10-second charge, in fact, of Mski just getting used there.
Yep. Let's see what else they can get while his BKB's down.
So, despite OG losing their range racks in the top lane, they have found themselves about 4,000 gold in the past few minutes, and they might find more onto jabs as he's getting caught by Resolution. Still, the Moonlight Shadow will come in. He has a good cog pushback, which keeps him alive. Mski's coming in looking for S4. The Astral will come through. S4 has the Repel and the Purification, not to mention a Eul Scepter. Moon's nearby with that Moonlight Shadow. Resolution getting lower. They've got the Solar Crest on him to keep him a little bit more tanky. The arrow coming in just missing onto Rezo. He'll back up. Mski forces across the river trying to get off to the Astral, and he does do so, but they don't want to chase, and I don't blame them. This is dangerous to fight into OG now. Mineski will back up and continue to split push top.
Yep, just stalling, giving Ice some more room to work with, just getting these lanes out. They're going to have to respond to this, and of course Roshan's up, so there are a whole bunch of problems for OG.
Still, Roshan is going to be the next point of contention. OG know this, they're going to try to find for it. Mineski is here. They've got Jabs, who has had an amazing game of the clockwork with the hook shots that he's been able to get off.
Oh, they could find Moon here. That'd be huge.
They're going to look for Mski, who does blink, but he doesn't get across the way. He will pop the BKB. It's going to be a man fight, though. The Astral comes in. Now the Force comes out. Mski's alive. The hook shot from Jabs, but they've already lost Mski, who's across the way. They will still find that Witch Doctor getting blown up by Muhun, who pops his own BKB. He's already used the Starstorm, still trying to fight. The Static Storm is there. It's on to 2, and now Mski comes back in. They've got the Hex. S4 is in trouble. The Eul Scepter will come through, and it'll keep him alive for a moment, but the arrow will hit, and that will bring S4 down for 68 seconds. They've got the Breathe Fire. Jabs might fall. That's the gem on the deck if they can find it. They've got the Ensnare. They can't get there in time, and Moon just able to get away with the leap. Ice has rotated in. The Hex is back up in 3 seconds. No-Tail gets off the Ensnare. Now Mski coming in looking for the Orchid. The Mirror Image comes out. The Manta Style is there, and they will find this Ensnare. They've got the stop. They've got the kill. Mski dead. Moon coming back in, looking for the DK. He finds it for the Song of the Siren. No-Tail wants this kill onto this Piranha, and he will find it. It's a double kill for Jerax. Now Ninja Boogie getting chased down. This is a battle and a half. Both teams going toe-to-toe. The Orchid on Jerax doing some work, but not enough to stop him from killing Ninja Boogie. Jerax getting low, but one last auto attack will not be there. And now the Naga trying to chase down the Nature's Prophet, who tries to TP away, but the Ensnare is there in time. They'll lose all 5.
Oh
No-Tail gets a double kill. Jerax is still alive. The Trins not able to bring them down. And OG win the fight. They get the gem. They get so much out of that engagement, Brax. My God. They're still fighting, actually, though. They've got jabs with Fly. The Witch Doctor getting caught now. It is just a kill into Fly. I don't think he's too concerned. It's not like he's carrying the gem or anything, but it's a nice little solo kill for Jabs that at least goes his way.
That fight was so weird, right? Both Resolution blinks in up on the high ground. They both ending up popping their BKB, so no stuns come out. Fight gets reset, but No-Tail with the physical damage coming in is actually doing a whole lot in these fights, right?
He did a lot of work in that engagement for sure.
Oh, and the evasion.
Even the DK is starting to hit hard now. SNY, BKB, Armlet, level 3 Dragon Form.
Resolution is extremely farm now.
He has the 35 damage talent from 15, so OG have brought this game back, not in terms of buildings, but in terms of the net worth. It's only a 3K advantage for Mineski. And it was kind of all over the place for Mineski. They forced out Outworld Devourer, so he wasn't really there for the beginning of the engagement. Yeah, they got his 4, but now can they deal with No-Tail is the issue. He seems to be pretty strong at this point, now with the Scotty picked up too, Brex.
So there's kind of this hump that OD hits where he's really strong before people have BKB. Then he falls off a bit once the BKBs come out. But then eventually BKB durations go all the way down to 5 seconds. OD can, blink in, Hurricane Pike out, Force Staff, be super mobile, get around the cooldowns. And then he comes back in and he feels strong, right? So we're reaching that point where Resolution's BKB is starting to get lower, but of course he's always going to have the Repel to work with, so
yeah,
that is his work around that.
But is there a point where you're like, we can't kill No-Tail? What do we do against this hero?
We might have hit that point already.
You think so?
I mean, look at the evasion coming out from OG. No-Tail's Butterfly, then click on Jerax, and he's got
Solar
Heaven's
Crest.
Halberd and Solar Crest.
Yeah. It's becoming an issue, and OG are trying to push the pace now. They're down 4K. If they can find a couple of kills, they can transition this into a Roche, into a Rax potentially. They want to find Mushi. He would be the target, and they almost see him, but he gets back to the base in time. And Mineski seemed to have an understanding that something is going on. Ice is going to continue to split push bottom with Nature's Wrath. He continues to try to keep these waves towards that Rax and bottom pushed in, but OG will back themselves up towards Roche. I don't think they want to go for this. No-Tail is teaming to the Shrine bottom, and that will be the end of any real fight that OG wanted to take.
Yep, No-Tail just sent some illusions down bottom to help deal with that split push, and he just runs right back to Roche, expecting a move from Mineski because they do have to worry about this Roche.
This scan is beautiful from OG. Can they do anything with it? Resolution's the frontline man. Yeah, he is baiting indeed. They are sitting on a sentry. The Astral will come in, and now Mineski, do they want to continue? They could find No-Tail. They might walk right into him, in fact. And actually, this would be huge if they could. They're going to walk right in. No-Tail is about to just run into the Ninja Boogie.
Real, though?
He's got the song available. He's got the Manson. He will use it. He needs help now. The hookshot comes in. The Static Storm is there. The Repel's not there in time. I think, yes, it is. They'll keep him alive. The Sandy's Eclipse. They're right-clicking him, and they will bring him down, but he's going to buy back immediately. And the DK is going to work. Resolution blowing up what he might get to as well. Mineski on the run with Mushi. He gets forced away in time. Ninja Boogie's TPing out to safety, and it looks like he will be able to get there. They get that big critical kill on No-Tail. They force out the buyback, but they do lose 2 of their own, and this will lead, potentially, Brax, into an Aegis and Cheese.
Yeah, No-Tail knows he has to buy back to be able to secure that fight, because if it does not go well, and they give away the Aegis and Cheese, he probably feels like they just have no hope in this game. They desperately wanted that fight to keep up the momentum, because they haven't really lost too much yet, right? They lost the range racks up top, but not a full lane. Something they can still deal with. And look at that, even No-Tail has a BKB in his quick buy, but he's not going to need that for a while with that Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Aegis to work with now, but once that is gone...
There's so much evasion from OG. 2 Halberds, a Solar Crest, and a Butterfly.
The amount of damage Resolution was pumping out in that fight, as you guys can see, is pretty nice. Now he's a Scotty, too, with the Elder Dragon form, the Blue Dragon, also available. Yeah. So... Resolution definitely wants to be tanky, and he is with the Armlet enabled up to 3.8k HP.
Scotty's an interesting choice. The extra mana from it, extra intelligence, helps against the OD so you don't just get exploded when the Sandy's Eclipse comes out.
So the good news for Mineski, they are continuing the split push with Ice in multiple different lanes.
It feels like we've gotten to the point where all they can do is split push.
Right.
If OG happened to get the jump on him, there's no hope.
They just can't really fight into this Naga. They can't fight into Repel. They can't fight into the DK and how tanky he is with his BKB. But OG, they really want to get a Tier 3 or Rax out of this. But Mineski are making a smart play, looking to try to push out of their base together and find a pick-off. But the only thing they'll find are illusions.
Yeah, there's not going to be a good way for Mineski to deal with all these halberds, especially on Mushi's OD, but with this, OG, just running it down mid.
Yeah, they know that everybody's in the jungle, and they're like, it's go time. Resolution pops the Elder Dragon form. The glyph will come out.
There's no MKB still on OD, so he's going to struggle with all the evasion still.
Yeah, it's not an item he wants to build, but he needs it this game. He desperately does. The tier 3 about to fall. Resolution, one more auto attack will do it. They've got the Purification. They've got the Repel still available for Resolution if they need it. The Solar Crest comes out as well. The evasion is going to be massive. They'll TP back Mushi, but they're about to lose their melee racks, and OG can just back, or they could go for more, and it looks like they will do just that. There's nothing really stopping Resolution from taking the full set of racks. The Moonlight Shadow comes out from Mineski, but they won't push forward, and OG will now back up, and they can start taking the shrine at the top shrine spot.
Well, they essentially bought themselves front row tickets to just watch their racks die. They couldn't engage at all. How are they meant to start a fight on this 3,800 Dragon Knight with a BKB and an Omni Knight sitting behind him, or the Naga Siren with 3,000 health and of course the Aegis? Like, how can they do anything?
I don't know how. There's a Bloodthorn, I guess, which is helpful for Ice, but yeah, I mean, they have the 2x Dragon Blood HP regen / armor for the DK, so he's sitting at like 40 armor essentially, more than that even.
Yep.
It's kind of insane.
Got a stupid amount of health regen as well.
Yeah. Good luck killing him. I mean, Resolution, he doesn't need the Aegis. He seems to be pretty unkillable at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. The 52.5 HP regen is something else, let me tell you.
There's just no damage coming out from the Mineski. Like, when you think OD, oh yeah, this guy does a lot of damage. Well, 2 halberds, evasion, not gonna happen.
It's kind of funny how we were talking about the lack of damage from OG in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
That's gone completely sideways in a different direction. Now it's Mineski that are struggling, and the one thing that will provide damage is Mushi's BKB. You'll have to wait out the BKBs, or not, Mushi's MKB, excuse me.
Right, he just has it now.
Yeah, which is critical. Again, you don't like really building MKB on this hero that much, but with the changes, now that you have a Hyperstone, it's not as bad.
Yeah, nowhere near as bad as before.
Exactly.
It's a step in the right direction, but I still don't understand how they're going to be able to manage to take a fight on their terms when OG are pushing, because that gives them the chance to just set up, right? All they have to do is sit there with the Dragon Knight in front, support him from the back, try not to get baited in.
They have okay high ground, but not enough to deal with the DK. They'll use the Astral to hookshot him from jabs. He's going to try to find a target. It's just Fly. The cock pushback is there. They've got the repel to the DK. He's actually taking a lot of damage. Moon has to pop the BKB. The Song of the Siren will go. They've got the Ensnare into Moon, and No-Tail is running in. He's got decent auto attack damage, but No-Tail can't stand and fight. And they might push them back for now. Moon getting a little bit low. Resolution will find jabs in the back line, and now they're going to continue on here, looking for Ice. Good Static Storm with the Kinetic Field coming out. S4 is able to walk out. The Eul Scepter's there. They might be able to get No-Tail, but that's just the Aegis. They buy back on the jabs. They're still trying to fight, chasing after S4. Mushi coming back to try to deal with No-Tail, who's hexed up. He's got the Repel coming out. That's a great stop with a great fire from Resolution, taking everybody down low, but they won't get the kills yet. Now they find Ice. Moon's already dropped down. Sandy's from Mushi trying to do what he can. The Naga is dead, but there's already 3 down from Mineski. It's going to be 4, and OG are about to take a second set of racks, and perhaps the game, Brax.
Oh my god. The game just spiraled out of control once OG started to pick up the items. Like, look at how these heroes build. Resolution, 4,000 health, 52 armor with the magic immunity. It's the Seraction Slack strategy, Mon. You group up with Omni Knight and run down a lane, and the enemy team can't fight you. Go figure.
Seems to be second game in a row we've seen this, where Omni Knight has taken control, and S4 has done just that, but it's been a group effort. Resolution, he got farmed eventually. He's able to do a lot of damage. They didn't really need No-Tail in that engagement. He died twice, pretty much right in a row, and he didn't do much, and he didn't need to. And OG are able to take Mega Creeps. There is still no buybacks for any of Mineski. They're still dead for about 20 seconds. But you don't want to GG out. This is your tournament life if you're Mineski. You want to try and defend at the very least tier 4s and you're Ancient.
Oh my god, look at the gold for everyone on OG. They're so rich.
They're rich, yeah. There's 8,000 gold for Resolution. He literally bought up a full Bloodthorn just right there.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
It's funny because their 16k gold lead is all in items. It's like, it's all in their inventory.
Yeah.
You know, they have all the gold unspent. They're able to take the fight so convincingly. S4 has a full hex now too.
OG coming back. They were down about almost 10,000 net worth at about 34 to 30 minutes into the game. And they just didn't have the physical damage to deal with these heroes. Mushi and Moon were really carrying the game. Moon had an excellent early game, but OG have come back. They've dealt with the split push pretty decently well. And They're able to find a lot with no tails damage now. With the evasion, that was the big key, and you harped on it a lot, and I think for good reason. The evasion has been critical for OG.
Yeah, the once evasion comes out, OD just, it feels like he doesn't do any damage. It's not only that the attacks get dodged, but that's him stacking up intelligence for the ultimate, right? You miss these hits, don't get as much intelligence, ult doesn't really do any damage. I don't know, it's just such a, that's why I'm so wishy-washy, Mont. You get me every time. When we were talking about the OD that came out in the draft, they're like, oh, you're talking about OD against Omni. Pretty good in lane, but then once you have the mid Mirana, not the biggest physical damage.
Yeah. And really, the OD Omni is great only really to shut him down in lane and get that big laning advantage. I mean, it's good later into the game, but...
Right, you have to snowball to a point where you have those items. You have the physical damage.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about this issue where BKBs come out and then you struggle to deal any damage at all.
Here we go, potentially the last fight of Mineski's tournament life now.
It's a DD on
OG trying to get
resolution.
their second win. They have that DD on resolution. They really waited just to make sure they were ready for this fight, and they're going to head for a Dragon Tail. They've got the BKB pops. Moon got blown away, dead for 85. That might be enough to finish this game off as Resolution just goes for the tier 4 towers. The Nature's Wrath will come through. That'll stop or at least slow the push for now, but not by much. Resolution continues on, working on the second tier 4 tower, and OG, they want to finish this off now. They've got the song, they're hitting the buildings, they're doing what they need to do. The Ancient is now exposed, and the Mega Creeps are marching on in, and Mski will pop the BKB. He's trying to fight,
so
but
fast.
look at the damage coming in from Resolution. It's too much. Mski is now down. No buyback. They'll find a third kill, and that is it. It is GG. OG will move on to this Swiss format group stage, but Mineski, they are done.